Will Elon Musk be the world's first trillionaire? In case you are in the dark about Tesla's latest achievement, they recently earned the distinction of being the most prized US automaker in history, reaching a record-high market value of $86.5 billion, with Elon being a significant shareholder. Before we get started with this video, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell button for notifications on our new uploads. Tesla, a company that began in 2003, striking out long-term companies like GM and Ford by mouth-watering 10 to 20 billion, is really a surprise. People are definitely reacting to the marvelous outturn. There is a huge probability that you have heard of Elon Musk, unless you've been living on a different planet. When it comes to billionaires around the world, Musk has been in the spotlight. Elon is one of the most wide-ranging billionaires around, with a net worth of over $93.7 billion. Like, did you hear that figure all right? That is over half the net worth of the world's richest man, who is at $175.3 billion. This means that Musk is one of the wealthiest people out there. In fact, he is the third richest man in the world. And with the way his wealth is increasing daily, there is no doubt that he will not only dethrone Jeff Bezos and the world's richest man, but also he would most likely become the first trillionaire in the world. In today's video, we will ponder this topic that must be wandering through so many people's minds. Will Elon Musk be the world's first trillionaire? Most of the time, people debate affluence like it is a competitive measure, and evidently it is for other people. Nonetheless, do you think Bill Gates, for instance, would care if he's spending money to eliminate coronavirus dropped him down the list of the world's richest? No, I think it's relatively apparent he wouldn't care. Why do you think it would matter? But wait for just a minute. Do you believe Elon is motivated by money? It is only natural to conclude that he is not. At this point in his life, he obviously has made more money than he could ever spend in his entire lifetime. And if he wanted to make some more, there are a whole lot of assured ways to do it. As a substitute, he is spending an extraterrestrial amount to fund SpaceX, Tesla, and all the other multifarious things he's interested in, none of which aren't easygoing to make more money anyway. There is no debate that taking a risk sometimes pays well, and if some of his ventures are enormously successful, he'll be extremely rich. Now, make no mistake, he's already super-duper rich, and his undertakings indicate that he is definitely heading to become super-rich if there was any such word. Okay, but Elon has got a good shot at becoming the world's first trillionaire. Let's take a detailed look at what his life has been from the very beginning. Elon, unknown to most people, was born and raised in Pretoria, South Africa, where he displayed an unusually entrepreneurial spirit from a really early age. Many may not be aware, but Elon got incredible support from his dietitian mother and engineer father, a great pair that acknowledged their son's desire for technology and fostered his passion for it. As unbelievable as that may sound, Musk bought his very first computer at the tender age of 10 and went on to teach himself something more incredible. Age didn't hinder him from becoming knowledgeable with the act of writing programming code. Just 2 years after his first computer purchase, the little boy was able to build a fully functional video game called Blaster, a game he purportedly sold for about $500. After he graduated from Pretoria High School in 1988, Elon partly attended the University of Pretoria for just 5 months before moving on to Canada, where he schooled at Queen's University, Ontario in 1989, permitting him to avoid South Africa's compulsory military service. He later went on to attend the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania, where he received a bachelor's degree in economics and was later accepted into the physics graduate program at Stanford University. 2 days after his admission into the Stanford University, Musk dropped out of school to go after his entrepreneurial dreams. And now to the juicier part of his life adventure. In 1995, Elon teamed up with his brother Kimball to create an IT company that licensed online city guide software to newspapers called Zip2. Even though the company fought to gain some notable recognition in its first few years, local and national newspapers, in the end, started using Zip2 to offer supplementary services to their personal customers. And then, in 1999, Zip2 was purchased by Compaq's Alta Vista web search engine for a jaw-dropping amount of about $340 million. With that amount of money in the bank, an average man would have counted himself successful and gone on a very long vacation. But not Musk. With business partners Max Levchin and Peter Thiel, Elon launched an online email payment and financial services company, XCOM. In 2000, XCOM fused with the American software company Confinity, quite famous for creating PayPal. Just a year later, Elon was named PayPal's CEO and chairman, and this was shortly before that company was acquired by eBay for a whopping $1.5 billion. As a shareholder with approximately $180 million worth of shares, Elon finally had enough capital to leave the internet business behind and station his energies in the direction of engineering concerns. And just now, I did the math on Musk's accomplishments, and there's a huge chance he will become the very first trillionaire. Now let's do the math together. Number 1. He keeps convening huge chunks of Tesla. His payment agreement says if Tesla stock hits specific price points for absolute numbers of months, Elon will undoubtedly unlock millions of shares. Even though it may sound really discouraging at this point, nonetheless, Elon certainly has what it takes to win that contest. I guess this really adds up. Imagine if and when Tesla's grid storage business becomes worth more than the electric cars in less than a decade. That would definitely be something. Leave it to this fantastic entrepreneur. He certainly knows how to turn ideas into money. Number 2. Musk owns more than half of SpaceX. You're very free to argue that SpaceX may never become massively valuable since it is not publicly commercialized at the moment. And it is so hard to place a fixed market cap on it. Nevertheless, have it stored at the back of your mind that SpaceX is very well on its way to pulling down the cost of inserting payloads into low Earth orbit. This will empower an enormous high-speed global internet satellite network, which will make SpaceX the leading company worldwide. So SpaceX will undeniably begin to pull in money like a phone company, which is very productive. Oh, and what of asteroid mining and colonizing of other heavenly bodies and matter? No doubt, these would soon be making hundreds of millions on their own. And that, my friend, would add up to a pretty valuable company. Number 3. The Boring Company could eventually become the high-speed, cost-effective subway of the 21st century. Sure, if Boring Company continues doing so great at what it does, that day where success would dethrone speculations would come sooner than expected. No doubt, the Boring Company creates a lot of significance. It also creates specialized technology that would one day help colonize Mars, America's dream for a while now. Number 4. Neuralink is currently making brain chip interfaces which could help the incapacitated. I'm not so sure you know what a tremendous project the Neuralink is, although it may seem like a selfless project at this time, given the sort of person Elon is. Nonetheless, if the 1.0 version of the Neuralink is commercialized, it will be making tons of millions in no time. And by the time Elon goes on to introduce the 3.0 version of the machine, the market will undeniably be much bigger, and the life-changing impact would be very intense. I am very confident that just like every other project Musk has, this particular venture would have a brutal long-term goal. And last, but not least, Musk has a lot of time on his side. With all these numerous achievements in his portfolio, it is exciting to note that Elon is only 49 years old. That's young for one of the 10 wealthiest people on Earth. And again, his business moves pretty fast. These listed achievements and his ongoing ventures would add up to make him a trillionaire in the nearest future. So, he definitely has got that going for him. Something else to think of would be that with Tesla having about $650 billion in valuation, it is only a matter of time before the company hits revenue and operational metrics, and then Elon would get his bonus tranches. A glance at Tesla's appraisal, we can realize about $14 billion annual EBITDA, $175 billion in revenue, $650 billion company valuation. And just before the ban, Elon gets $56 billion in stock at the $4,000 per share valuation. No doubt, 500,000 vehicles for every quarter of the year would happen with Texas, and in turn, yield about $100 billion annual revenue for the company. There is no doubt that Elon has a lot of potential. He is very erratic with success, and his work ethic is just out of this world. With Tesla and SpaceX, he hasn't even gone mainstream yet, but we see what magic they create in Musk's bank account. Agreed, Tesla is still in its early stages as electric cars haven't become conventional, and yet it is already so big. Imagine when electric vehicles go to the mainstream. It will definitely make him the wealthiest man to ever live on Earth. And this is with the assumption that there won't be so much competition. So, there you have it. Will Elon Musk be the world's first trillionaire? If there are other parts of this squabble you think were not adequately examined, share your thoughts in the comment section below. If this video was insightful, don't forget to like the video. Please, go on and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click the bell button to be notified whenever we upload videos like this one. That's it for me, guys. Don't forget to stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.